This election should be about the issues facing our country and how to make America successful, safe, free, and great again. In an age when our politics too often divide us, now is the time to remember that we are all fellow citizens. We are one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I mean, that was a very calm, that was the tone that he needed to set and going forward into this. Don't you think so? I think so. That was, I mean, these are good remarks. Welcome back to the program. Dana Loesch with you at the top of the second hour. And that was just some of what they're not going to, they're not going to talk about Trump's speech. So they're going to complain that it went on for too long, which it did. But they're not going to talk about the tone, and they're not going to talk about the, all of this. They're not going to talk about it. And it was the tone that he needed to set. And whether it went on too long or not, I was agreeing with my good friend David Limbaugh on this stuff, because he was saying, it was a good speech. It went on for a little long, which is true. But I also think that he began on point. He went off script, but it's not earth shattering, or it's not anything that's going to squander any kind of goodwill. So I don't think it's like there's no hand wringing that's necessary. I mean, I think the delegates were pleased, and it's not beyond the realm of realism to think that you're at a convention where your delegates and your hardcore supporters are, you're going to have a little bit of a rally-esque tinge to your remarks. And I think that's, I like what my friend David said. He said that in looking at this, he had said that transformative incidents aren't personality snatchers. And I think that's true. I mean, he still has the same personality, but you can't deny that. I mean, he is very aware of the weight of what happened. And I think his tone and his remarks were reflective of that completely. And it was very, he had good remarks. But I think maybe one of my favorite moments was audio soundbite 4, and people can get, they can be like, what is this? No, it's Hulk Hogan, brother. Audio soundbite 4.
But what happened last week when they took a shot at my hero and they tried to kill the next president of the United States? Enough was enough. And I said, let Trumpomania run wild, brother. Let Trumpomania rule again. Let Trumpomania make America great again.
He delivered, man. Hulk Hogan delivered. How would you, and God love him, Franklin came on to give a prayer after that, and I was thinking, man, I would not want to follow Hulk Hogan. I would have ever so slightly adjusted, perhaps. I would have had, Franklin Graham, maybe kind of kick it off. And then I would have had Eric Trump, and then I would have done maybe Dana White, and then Hulk Hogan, and then Trump come out. But I also understand that they were trying to set a specific tone. And I get it. You know what I mean? So they had Dana White, they had Hulk Hogan, then Dana White, and then I get it. But come on, that was so good. How do you go on after Hulk Hogan? So good.
It brought back some great memories as a kid.
Didn't he blow him an air kiss? I swear to you, I think Trump blew him an air kiss.
Yeah, I think it was something like that.
He literally air kissed him.
Pretty sure something like that. But my favorite part, too, was when he was in that character, that first part of his speech, and then he breaks down. He's like, look, guys, I just wanted to come with this energy. You know what I mean? This is me.
Yeah, audio soundbite 2. Listen to this. This is good.
Crowd behind you. You're going to speak to him.
I can't wait. This is going to be like body slamming the giant at WrestleMania.
What brought you out here? Why are you here?
Well, Brett, I got tired of remaining silent. I sat back and watched the borders collapse. I watched the economy collapse.
A lot of people
I watched
like
the price of gas.
I wanted to play this ad. This ad dropped a little while ago, but they just did an ad buy with it last night is when they started the ad buy. So I know that, like I said, I mean, the ad came out a little while ago, but it's a now it's a new ad buy that they started promoting this. And I think and I was trying to look up the name of the company that did it because, Real Power Tie on it's Power Tie, but on Twitter or on X, it's called Real Power Tie. They're the people who did it. And that's apparently what they do. This, I'm going to play, it's only 30 something seconds. They did the ad buy with this. This is literally the best ad that has been made in the past 20 years. And I don't care who you are, it is a good ad. This is audio soundbite 1. I want you to watch this.
If I give you one message to hold in your hearts today, it's this. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Relish the opportunity to be an outsider because it's the outsiders who change the world and who make a real and lasting difference. The more that a broken system tells you that you're wrong, the more certain you should be that you must keep pushing ahead. You must keep pushing forward.
That is the best ad I have seen in 20 years. It humanizes him in 37 seconds. It takes away the any of the mudslinging. It takes away everything, and it makes him look like a human. And that's one of the things that the left has wanted to deny. They want to strip their opponents of humanity because it makes it easier in their minds and hearts. It justifies the nastiness that they demonstrate towards these people. If you strip someone's humanity from them, it's easier to treat them like nothing. And you can justify the depravity of your behavior by telling yourself that they're inhuman. It is one of the scariest traits of tyrants and the far left. It really is. And I've seen them try to do this now to J.D. Vance's wife. So I saw this tweet. I saw this tweet from this dude. And his name is Peter something, I don't know. He's a goofball. He tweets this and he says, quote, "Back in 2007, when we were Yale China teaching fellows together, Loesch was a very organized and thoughtful person, serious about teaching and making a difference on issues such as women's rights. Painful for me to see her on the RNC stage right now." It's painful for him. You know, he's a man, mansplaining about women's rights. He sounds like a guy who was friend-zoned. I find behavior like this absolutely abhorrent. I don't care what your politics are. People are still people. And she's still a person. I have never run for political office, and I've never been married to anybody that's run for political office. But I've experienced treatment by people over the years who have tried to assert that same proximity, who have tried to assert that kind of familiarity for their own influence, right? I mean, even if we hadn't spoken in like a decade or were only ever mere acquaintances, there have been people who have cropped up in my life who've tried to do this while also cutting me down to whichever member of the press that would elevate their name in print. It's gauche. It's desperate. To make idols out of your own political zealotry to the point where you stop functioning like a civilized human is depraved. That's just disgusting. And this guy is nothing to her. He's a guy who's trying to trade on her name all of these years later. He's a guy who apparently is enough of a weirdo to still keep these old photos. And then to say this about somebody. It's just that's just desperate and inhuman. But that's what the left does, and that's what they are. I mean, I've had people in my life that I've even had them in my home before. And then when your politics separate too much from where they're at politically, you cease being a human in their eyes. You are no longer a person. They will say whatever about you. They will cut you down. They will try to destroy you, especially if it elevates their name in the printed media. Oh my gosh, these narcissists love nothing more than seeing their own name in print. But they, in their mind, strip you of your humanity so they can justify not treating you like a human ought to be treated. They strip you of your humanity to hide the fact that they've lost theirs. That's what the left does, because it's who they are. So I saw that, and that made me angry. And it's only just a taste of what's to come for her. I mean, she's already been through this to an extent as the wife of someone who ran for Senate. But that's about to get a whole lot hotter for her. Because what have we known from the left? We don't go after the left's kids. I've never went after the Obama girls. I don't go after, I only go after kids if they're adults and they get involved in the political sphere, like Hunter Biden, right? They've got little kids. I'm waiting for the press to go after them. The press always does that. The left always does that. It's shameful. Absolutely shameful.